Hello everybody and welcome back to the grand return of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trials and Tribulations. I did upload a very old, it's been months at this point, I think back in March maybe? Jesus, it's been a while. No, it hasn't been that long. But I did upload a very old video recently. But now that my capture card's working again, like I had issues. I wasn't able to return back to Phoenix Wright. But now finally I'm able to. Hopefully I can get this out on a somewhat decent schedule. It's not going to be my main focus because I still have Crisis Core and Persona 3 in the background. I mean in the foreground. This is more of a background series to do when I have the time. But yeah, I watched the last couple episodes. I remember what's going on. So finally it's time for the Ace Detective to make his appearance. And hopefully the audio's not bad. I did a test recording with Smash just a second ago. And everything sounded good, so hopefully it's fine here. 1 second is 1 drip of the coffee pot. Let's hurry it up. Shh! Silence! Now I see. It's all becoming clear. What's clear? Zvari! The truth has once again been elegantly revealed to me. What we have here is a judge and a prosecutor. A coffee maniac at that. Am I correct? Well, yes, that's right. Not bad. Not bad at all. You're the first person that's ever been able to penetrate my secret veil. Well, Sir Prosecutor, let me introduce myself. My name is Luke Atamy, Ace Detective and Rising Star illuminating the heavens. Boy, these two make a perfect pair. They'd either be best friends or they'd tear each other's heads off. I've heard that on the night of the crime, you were all alone on security detail. You have heard correctly. My specially made monocle's worth more than 100 Detective Gumshoes. If Detective Gumshoe is worth anything, that is. Don't be nice. Why was this guy all by himself anyway? There must be some reason. I'm sure of it. Well then, tell us what this special monocle of yours witnessed. What I witnessed. Alright. It was approximately 1 o'clock in the morning, just after the date changed. That's when my nemesis, the infamous Masked and Masked, dancingly descended upon me. Just as I began to turn, the coward struck a fierce blow upon my noble head. Darkness swallowed me before I could land a single strike. When I awoke, he was gone. 30 minutes later, I used an emergency phone to notify the police. That's it? So you did get a clear look at the criminal. My specially made monocle never misses a thing. However, that is limited to things that fall within my own visual range. But of course, that's only natural. I fail to see why the witness seems so proud of his performance that evening. Well, sir, old-timer, let me explain. We are not speaking of an ordinary thief, but of the king of thieves, the great Mask the Mask, my archenemy. That is what my instincts and my years of experience tell me. Very well. Proceed with the cross-examination, Mr. Wright. Wasn't much to go off of, but let's see what we got here. It was approximately 1 o'clock. I meant to press. Hold it. So that would be 1 o'clock of the morning of the 12th, correct? That's an impressive deduction, sir lawyer. You were on security duty that night. Where exactly were you at the time? A penetrating question. I was in the basement warehouse near the computer. Near the computer, huh? So then you weren't trying to remain hidden, I take it? Up to this point, I have tried to remain concealed while waiting for the thief. Yeah, he said the same thing yesterday, too. Gumshoe also said that they've never spotted the thief at the crime scenes before. Precisely. That's precisely why I chose not to hide last night. I knew that by not concealing myself, I'd be putting my pressure on the thief. Looks like the thief is the one applying pressure. On your pigeony head, that is. In any case... That's when my nemesis, yeah. Descended upon you, huh? Dancingly descended. From where exactly? Well, from the entrance, I suppose. Where else? So in actuality, he neither danced nor descended. Someone please save me. So how is it that you didn't notice the thief? My eyes were looking for the thief's shadow while my eyes listened for his footfalls. But even so, the dastardly criminal managed to sneak up on me. It can only be due to his subtly camouflaged cape and soft-soled shoes. I hereby W Ace stunts. Just as I began to turn, the coward struck a fierce blow for my noble head. You didn't see the criminal's face when that happened? Well, that's the difficult part. How should I put it? I saw his mask. That's all I can recall. Okay. It's not very solid as far as testimony goes. However, fortunately I had my third monocle, the security camera at the ready. It captured his image perfectly. This should be sufficient, I believe. No. No, it can't. Well, as long as this photo is authentic, I don't see a problem here. Well, the problem is that, well, at least in my case, it doesn't show who it is. Well, Mr. Godot, have you a problem with the photo? Or is it Godot? Is it Godot? I saw a video. Someone was talking about game engines, and there was one called Godot, and it's spelled exactly like this guy's name. Is it Godot? It might be Godot. Good. Let's continue with the testimony. Doctor swallowed me before I could land a single strike. When you awoke, he was gone. Attacked and knocked unconscious, and you weren't able to do a thing? That's certainly some very impressive detective work. Well, Sir Lawyer, have you ever been suddenly struck on the head? I have, actually. Huh? Well, actually, yes. By a fire extinguisher. And what happened? I was knocked out. And you lost your memory, too. You see, you have no right to look down on me then, do you? The only reason I didn't lose my memory is because I have more brains to begin with. You may have brains, but the wiring to the self-reflection part seems to have been severed. In any case, that was how I was knocked away senseless. Or knocked senseless. And then... 30 minutes later, he's emergency phone. Alright, tell me about that. About this 30 minutes. My silver cord was loosened, and my soul fled to the golden halls of Elysium. What? As usual, I have no idea what this guy is saying. I think he's saying he was out cold. So, what happened during those 30 minutes? No one can say, Your Honor. That span of time has truly vanished into the ether. Just what is he going on about? There's something suspicious about Detective Atme. Well, there's a lot. How could they have not noticed when the thief came in? Also, he says he was knocked unconscious before he could fight back. But that can't be right. It contradicts the evidence. Huh? Which piece? The real question is, why would he tell such an obvious lie? Oh, is it the brooch? Okay. Because this was knocked off of him, right? It was torn off. Yeah. No, you can't lie to me. Mr. Atme, could you take a look at this with that special monocle of yours? Aha! This belongs to the criminal mastermind, my arch-nemesis, Mask the Mask. It is, in point of fact, Mask the Mask's brooch. Did I say brooch? It was found on the floor of the basement warehouse. I wonder how that happened. Ha! Elementary, my dear lawyer. Obviously, it wasn't glued on well enough. I have to do better than that. Not quite. It clearly shows signs of having been ripped off a piece of clothing. Ripped off. Aha! We can only deduce that the thief struggled with something on that night, or someone on that night. That's the only thing I can think of. And there's only one person that was in position to have a struggle with the thief. The only person that was on security duty that night. Oh. You, Detective Atme. Ugh. Detective Atme, you must have fought with the thief that night. So why did you lie in your testimony to the court? Witness, giving false testimony is a serious crime. No. Wait just a moment, Sir Old-Timer. Don't talk to me like I'm living in a nursing home. I just remembered, Your Honor. I was just confused because I've been dealing with so many cases lately. The true measure of a man is the amount of work he does. That's what I always say. Nick, you can only handle one case at a time. Isn't that right? You talk too much. Witness, so are you now saying that you and the thief fought? Hold on, that's quite enough, Your Honor. Excuse me. Save the big questions for the testimony. That's one of my rules. Indeed, I understand. I, Luke Atme, agree completely. Fight with the thief. Okay. Indeed, it's true that I looked away from the door for a brief moment. However, Luke Atme cannot be so easily discombobulated. I dropped my mouse. Unfortunately, the thief grabbed a weapon from the side and rendered me senseless. What weapon? A true gentleman fights only with his fists. But oh, it was the sword. But they were not enough. His first blow struck true. Bam! And that's all she wrote. So in the end, you did catch a glimpse of Mask to Mask? Correct. It was during his third crime that he struck me from behind. It seems that my memory has become tad jumbled, so to speak. Well, that's certainly understandable. I myself always get confused about which testimony goes on which case. How? That can't be good. No, it can't. Fight with a thief. Dog's going crazy in the background. Whoa. I'm kind of just vibing with the music real quick. Ace Attorney never fails with the music, so why did you look away from the door anyway? In addition to the camera, I had prepared a variety of other sensors as well. The alarm on one of those had gone off, so I had to check the data. That's why I went to the computer. Elegantly, of course. So, you were momentarily vulnerable when you were working on the computer? What should I do? Should I ask them more questions? Always. About the sensor. What kind of sensors are you talking about? There are other places in the basement that someone could monitor or enter and exit from. There are air conditioner ducts, sewer pipes, and a cat door as well. I hooked up heat detecting, infrared, and ultraviolet sensors to each of them. That's a lot of hardware. Was it all yours? Lonely Taylor department store was kind enough to provide the monitoring of hardware. Naturally, the security camera that took the photo belongs to them as well. In other words, he couldn't have rigged the equipment, huh? I wouldn't think he would. That cleared up any doubts you had about me, sir lawyer? Well, I want to ask you about the computer now. Yeah, ask about the computer. So did that computer belong to Lordly Taylor as well? Correct. Well, except for the program that manages the data. That was specially designed by me, Luke Acme. In that case, he could have easily manipulated the data. I guess. What's wrong, sir lawyer? But are we gonna go that route? I mean, he is a very odd individual, but I don't think he's done any manipulating. What does that mean? Discombobulated. Young people these days, they really irritate me. They allow perfectly good old words to die until everyone forgets what they mean. Sorry, but what exactly does it mean anyway? Now I've forgotten. What was I saying? Ah, jeez, it's better than old people who forget what they were saying 5 seconds ago. Well, it looks like we've cleared that up. You can go into Godot, no! Okay, fine. What do you mean by weapon from the side? Naturally, the thief had no idea that I, Luke Acme, was hiding in the area. He grabbed the sword from the statue that was standing by the door to the warehouse. Sword? You mean the sword that was all twisted like a tree branch? Correct. Fortunately for me, the blade was not sharp. It looks sharp. Okay, so he is talking about the Shichishido. So the thief armed himself with a sword. And what about yourself, witness? A true gentleman fights only with his own fists, but they were not enough. His first blow struck true. Bam! And that's all she wrote. Okay. Can you tell us a little more about what happened? My opponent was both powerful and vicious. You might say he was powericious. I would not say that. Powericious? I assumed the Acme fighting stance, but a sudden flash of light blinded me. That of course was checkmate. My opponent had bested me. What did I do now? Should I ask more about this? Okay, you were blinded? So what was this flash of light that blinded you? I was bathed in a golden light that seemed to come from the statue of the woman. Really? The statue of Amy Faye, I'm guessing. Well, that wasn't very much help at all. Well, what do you think, Nick? Well, there's one thing that I'm absolutely sure of now. Yeah? What is it? This Luke Acme guy. He's definitely hiding something. Okay, I'm starting to figure out what really happened that night. And about the true nature of this detective. Okay, well, I didn't ask about... Wait, did I ever press this? I didn't press this. You have that much faith in your own fighting abilities? But of course, in college, I was the second in charge of the boxing club. I'm sorry, I failed to find that appropriately impressive. However, my opponent in the ring this time was my arch-nemesis, Mask the Mask. This guy's a real piece of work. Don't say. Well, let me ask you about... your fighting style? What is this at-me fighting style? I'm sorry, but that's a trade secret, and I really can't say anymore. But I suppose I can tell you if I absolutely must. The main thing is to put your back to the wall. That way no one can get blinded behind you. That's it? That's the at-me fighting style? Well, Mr. Wright, what about that testimony? It was a waste of time? Wait. Hang on. Put your back to the wall, huh? That's not what I want to look at. Why do I feel like it has to do with this paint? Was there something suspicious about the way the paint was put on the wall? If I remember correctly? Again, it's been months since I've last played, so I could be wrong about that, but I feel like there's a question about the paint. I don't know if it was very important, but... Oh, it was a blow to the back of the head. You know, that was very important. Of course it's important. We've learned the detective's secret technique, after all. Yes, indeed. I'll remember to use it if I ever take a walk alone late at night. Why the heck is he eyeballing me like that? It's creeping me out. Now then, witness, we'll go ahead and add that secret information to your official testimony. Put your back to the wall to fight. Okay, I know what to do, but I want to, press this just to see what you say. Where's this third eye you're talking about? Oh, it's right between my right and left eyebrows. It's quite invisible to the unenlightened. Unenlightened? You may call it the forehead if you like. Why didn't you just say that in the first place? Because he's weirdo. Sir Lawyer, it looks like the creases in your own forehead are getting deeper. So Mr. Atme got hit on the forehead then? That's what he says. I've had a funny feeling about that. Actually, so do I. Yeah, no, it's because he's definitely lying. About many things. Hey! Explain yourself. Detective Atme, your detective is crumbling like a house of cards. What fun is it? What fun this is, Sir Lawyer. It is truly a pleasure to cross swords with you. And now, once again, you have thrown down the gauntlet at my armored feet. I believe this is what you said yesterday. No, the coward must have wormed his way in through somewhere besides the door. Then my arch-nemesis struck me on the head from behind with his gruesome item here. From behind, huh? But just now, you testified that he struck you on the forehead. I hardly think you could forget where you were hit on the head. Ugh, it seems I've made another mistake. Detective Atme, that's not the only strange part of your testimony. What do you mean by that? For example, the very fact that you hid the calling card from the police itself is strange. It's almost as if you were afraid they were going to help with security. Geniuses such as myself has always been misunderstood. How sad. That's wrong. Oh my god, your voice is deep. To err is human, to forgive divine. Humans aren't machines, they have souls, feelings. They live, they die, they love, they hate. And yes, they even make mistakes. Hey, hold on. It's not as pretty as that. Really? What is it then? Or what is it like then? Always chase a riddle down to the end. That's one of my rules. How many rules do you have? This is it. This might just be my chance to turn things around. Mr. Wright, what exactly is it that you're asserting? Very well, Your Honor. The defense asserts that Mr. Atme is masked in mask? No. I don't think it goes that far. There's no way his nose would fit in that mask. But also, he's a fake? He's no ace detective? I mean, all of these would be completely wrong. Or, I mean, completely right in this case. I don't know which one to say. He has great powers of deduction, yet rarely makes sense. I think he's a fake. He's no ace detective. The truth is, this witness is no ace detective at all. So then what exactly are you saying that I am? Well, an average detective? No, Phoenix, come on, dude. I hardly see the relevance of that. Yeah, neither do I. What do you- I don't know, Maya. We're gonna go on the attack. Okay, so you want me to call him out. I don't think he's masked to mask, but this is all very strange, I have to say. I'm asserting that he's Mask to Mask. The answer is simple. It's all clear to me now. Detective Luke Atmey's true identity is actually Mask to Mask. Yeah! Order! Order in the court. Mr. Wright, what is the meaning of this? Is this game's version of Pursuit? I mean, it's good. There are too many unnatural parts of Mr. Atmey's story. He says he was hiding at the crime scenes, which is why no one ever saw him there. And then, in his last case, he manages to outperform Detective Gumshoe and the entire police force to miraculously retrieve the stolen treasure. That's because I analyzed the crime scene data and made an exquisitely elegant deduction. I picked up clues that the police overlooked in order to arrive at a... I try better than that one, man. Oh please, that explanation is far simpler than that, Detective Atmey. The truth is that you are, in fact, Mask to Mask. But Mr. Wright, this photo, it clearly shows Mask to Mask. The security camera belongs to the Little Taylor department store. He shouldn't have been able to manipulate it. Yes, he could, actually. He didn't need to manipulate it. He gained access to the warehouse under the pretense of providing security. Then he simply dressed up as the thief and stole the urn. So, the ace detective is actually an ace thief. Is this true, witness? Well, Master Massimo is pure genius, and so am I. Luke Atmey, ace detective. You are very clever to have come to such a conclusion. I am impressed, Sir Lawyer. What? Witness, you're admitting it? Nick, now's your chance. Yes. Time to put the last nail in this guy's coffin. Detective Atmey, when you assume the thief's identity... What? Did you just throw coffee at me? Good old blend number 102. My personal favorite. Mr. Godot, the ace detective is actually an ace thief. I smell a best-selling novel. There's only one problem. It simply isn't true. But... I'm sorry. Mr. Godot, Mr. Wright has made some very strong points, and I will admit my opponent has woven a compelling narrative out of a whole cloth. But it is, in fact, nothing more than a patchwork quilt. Mr. Trite. If this detective really is the thief, then show us that proof of your claim. But it had better be as hot and as perfect as the coffee dripping down your face. Well, Mr. Wright, don't just stand there. This court would like to see this decisive proof you have, quickly. Huh? Oh, yes, of course. What's the big rush? Are you alright, Nick? Atmey looks pretty rattled right now. I'd like to finish this right now if I can. But can I really do it? The decisive evidence that proves that Luke Atmey is in fact Mask to Mask will be revealed next time. Thanks for watching. If you liked what you saw, you can click or subscribe button down below. Don't forget to check out the main channel, and if you're streaming live on Twitch for sometimes stream live, you can check out the link to that down in the description below. Otherwise, again, thanks for watching, and I will catch all of you in the next one, so... Oh, drop my mic. Take care.